Hey guys, Super Godzilla Final Wars here, and today I'm going to be talking about a new Kaiju Girl Godzilla OC that I came up with. As you already know, she is a main character in the Godzilla family. She had made her first appearance, and obviously in Ask and Dare, the Godzilla family remake. Her name is Rebirth Goji, but she sometimes preferred to be called rather Rin sometimes. She likes to be called Rin sometimes, and other times she actually prefers to be called Urza sometimes. Well, actually, no. It was Rin and oh yeah. She not only likes to be called Rin sometimes, but the name that she kind of likes the most is actually Summer. And the reason why she likes to be called those names, besides her current name, well, here's an interesting story. I'm going to go over her backstory real quick. So, a long time ago, a really long time ago, Rebirth Goji was just a simple Kaiju Girl Godzilla. Originally, she was supposed to be the daughter of the first Godzilla, but knowing on how the way most of the Kaiju Girl Godzillas are related to the first Kaiju Girl Godzilla, I would figure that would be weird, considering her and Final Wars will eventually be a couple, and since Kaiju Girl Godzilla 1954 and Gojira will eventually become a couple. Not all of the Kaiju Girl Godzillas are related to Kaiju Girl Godzilla 1954, just a few of them, like 3 of them, I think. But, yeah. But instead, her mother used to be friends with obviously with Kaiju Girl Godzilla 1954. Her name was Kaiju Girl Guardian Goji. She was actually a Godzilla who got along with humanity really well. She does not tolerate a few humans, however. She only tolerates the majority of humanity, but for those who attack her, she does not tolerate them. Her personality almost resembles Godzilla Final Wars. Rebirth Goji spent the majority of her life watching as her mother showed her how to be a true alpha predator, or basically be a true unstoppable force of nature. However, that was when Queen Ghidorah came down to Earth, challenged her mother, and basically almost killed her. Yeah, you could say Rebirth Goji did not have a very happy beginning. Honestly, she had a very dark beginning. This all happened when she was at the age of 5 years old. She was 5 years old, and both her and her mother were at the near brink of death. Luckily, Rebirth Goji and her mother were managed to survive. and they alerted all the other Kaiju Girl Godzillas, and they all decided that however, they refused to work together. Because, well, they just couldn't prefer to work together, because the last time that they worked together, half of their species got killed. The very last time. So Queen Ghidorah came right back down to Earth and challenged Rebirth Goji's mother again. This time, unfortunately, Rebirth Goji's mom was unfortunately killed. If you wonder what happened to her dad died by the hands of Muto Prime. Well, Kaiju Girl Muto Prime. Kaiju Girl Muto Prime killed her father way before she was even born. And after that, Kaiju Girl Queen Ghidorah flew off. And at some point, Rebirth Goji almost blamed the other Godzillas for not helping her mother. After that heartbreaking event, the little one swore for revenge, and it's against Queen Ghidorah. You could say Rebirth Goji was at a desperate desire for revenge. And over the past years, she's been spending her life alone. No one dared to try to raise her. No one even bothered to even think about raising her. That wasn't until a tribe of humans were managed to find her and take her in. They taught her the ways of her species, and over time, she grew up to be a strong warrior. However, when she was a teenager, she thought this was the perfect time to get her revenge. Her people tried to warn her that she's still way too young to fight Queen Ghidorah. This was around 17 years later. She's a 17-year-old Godzilla, and at this point, if Queen Ghidorah wanted to, she would have killed her right where she was standing. But instead, she didn't. But it doesn't mean that Rebirth Goji barely made it out alive. She was at the near brink of death. And at this point, she thought she was going to see her mother again. Until a group of scientists found her unconscious body and took her back to their lab. There, they tried their best to keep her alive, but unfortunately, she died. That wasn't until when one particular scientist decided to do the impossible. In her universe, Rebirth Goji's universe was more like a crossover between Godzilla and Ruby. So to say, someone decided to add frickin' Salem's DNA in her frickin' body, giving her the unstoppable regeneration ability that was far quicker than any other Godzilla, but in her universe. Her regeneration was so quick, and so instantly and fast, that the other Godzillas barely have enough time to realize what just happened. If you don't know how fast is Salem's regeneration, go look up Ruby and look up Salem. Then you can see how fast her regeneration is. Because Rebirth Goji's regeneration is super quick. Basically, her regeneration is more like Godzilla Ultimate's regeneration. Like, no matter how much damage you can do to her, Rebirth Goji can just instantly regenerate herself. And you could say she basically fought Salem and almost won. Forcing for Queen Ghidorah to stop her. However, her original appearance changed. She once had black hair and red eyes. However, that changed. She ended up getting brown eyes and a light brown hair. And her tail even changed colors as well. Her overall appearance completely changed. It's because of her new abilities. With this new regeneration, and not just that, even new abilities that not even all the other Godzillas had, because of that, this gave her a different appearance, making her more like a queen rather than a freaking normal Godzilla. So all the Kaiju in her universe declared her as the queen of the monsters. She did die like 3 times and instantly came back from the dead. She's kind of like Mothra, but unlike Mothra, she doesn't need to leave an egg behind to come back. She can just come back whenever she wants. And with this, she finally had the advantage. Her strength increased, her powers increased, everything about her increased. She was now way stronger than her mother, almost rivaled both in power and strength with Godzilla Final Wars. She officially was declared as one of the most strongest Godzillas in her universe. And you could say a lot of guy Godzillas were really attracted to her. She was more like a big deal. However, there was one particular guy Godzilla that she had an interest on, and that was and that Godzilla was none other than Godzilla in Hell. That Godzilla became her ex-husband. And if you're wondering what went wrong, well, I'll tell you.